Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Blended by Love podcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're missing a word. Hello.
Um, all right, so quarantine life.
What
That's all
have
there is to talk about. Quarantine life. What did you do?
you know?
Quarantine life.
I think the word quarantine it just sounds so draining. It sounds so negative. Like quarantine. I feel like we're in a tunnel in a cave fighting for our life.
Well, it feels much worse than that. Then.
Stop.
No, I'm
Okay.
kidding. I'm kidding.
You know. You know what? I think because I'm such a homebody, combined with the fact that I still go out and work 3 days a week. It's not that quarantine for me. I don't, even if I was home every single day, I don't know that I would feel what you feel because being home, laying in bed, watching movies, being bummy, that is how I rejuvenate myself. That is why when we met, I could come over and be so like full of energy and feel so rejuvenated because that was my rejuvenation. That's what my recuperation of life was, which is why again when we met and we started doing all these things and whatever and I started getting like I'm tired. I just want to stay home. And you were like, what do you mean? And it was like, no, wait, you like that. And this is how I get my, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, quarantine life, if that's what we must call it, has not felt the same for me. It really hasn't. I have been feeling good.
Yeah.
So, for all the people out there that actually don't mind quarantine life, let's just say thank you.
Well, I mean, it's nice because you go to work 3 days a week, so
Yeah, but
it's
how many times, babe, have I said I wish I could switch with
it,
you? That's not up to me. That's up to the bosses. He has not let me stay home like you've been staying home. Trust me. As much as you're envious of me, I am hell bent and like I am crazy envious of you.
so at least I was able to complete where I put up the walls for the laundry room in the basement.
Hmm.
I started the ceiling, fixing the or going to paint over where there were cracks in the paint on the ceiling.
In the baby's room. Yep.
Yep, in Raya's room. So I mean, I feel like I'm doing something. I got to go to Home Depot, got to walk around and grab the stuff that I needed. Ah, that
Which
was
was
my
which
rejuvenation.
was not social distancing,
That was
babes.
my rejuvenation. And let me tell you, there was a lot of people there. Like I
Which
was
means that was not social distancing, but yes.
usually there hasn't been many people out, but there was a lot of people. I think everybody's working on a project today. But that was my rejuvenation.
No,
I got to
was it a lot of
go.
guys? Because I swear I
No,
think I was.
there's like couples. There's
No, yes, I'm just saying. Was every person at least including a guy?
just about. There was a couple.
Because everybody is sending their people to do something.
Oh, wives are sending their husbands to do something.
It could be boyfriends, it could be other partners, it
Mm,
could be roommates for all we know.
yeah.
But people that, idle hands. Idle
Mm,
hands, devil's playground.
yeah. So at least I feel productive, and I did get to go out, and that's why I'm feeling so rejuvenated.
Hmm. And I had to have a conversation with Isaiah upstairs because he was sitting in the kitchen with me. And he's like, I haven't been out in weeks. And I said, dude, there's a reason. It's dangerous. And I had to break it down, like, he's like, well, I need a job. I said, you need a job for what? Where you going? What you doing? Ain't nothing happening. And he's like, well, I want stuff for the future. I said, half the world ain't working right now. You're good. And we're gonna. You keep talking.
Araya's up. So here we go again. We try to do the podcast, and
It's okay. We're good. I'll bring her down. You keep talking.
so sitting here talking about myself. So we are going to be talking about. We're actually going to go a little deeper into a topic that we started on our last podcast because we feel like we just kind of hit the touch the surface, didn't really say too much, um, but we wanted to continue and talk a little bit more about our children's relationships. And then we might get into another topic, given see what kind of time we have, um, and and I don't know. Oh, here's my wife right here.
That's me.
So I was just telling them that we were gonna touch on the last subject that we started
Yeah.
because we didn't like delve too much into it where we could have. Um, so we were talking about our relationships between Selena and Isaiah, our teens.
Yes.
Um, where we were kind of discussing that we didn't talk about how or we didn't talk too much about how it was because she was she's transitioning now, but when she met
Right.
first when Isaiah first met her,
Mhm.
it was a boy, right?
Yes.
So he had another boy to play with.
It's so funny how we're just so like, ugh, it's almost like you're hesitant on saying the word.
Yeah, because I didn't know how.
Right, and I agree with you because that's how I feel. We use the word transitioning because we just don't see it that way. We don't look at it that way, but it is, it is what it is. Um, but yes, go ahead, continue.
So, like you were saying, um, so it was like Isaiah was meeting another boy, another teen.
Yeah.
Although there was something off,
Right.
right?
Yes.
So
So when they met, my child was born a male and had not yet come out and say the transition, say what they wanted to do, and all those things, even though I wouldn't say that something wasn't there. I think that I always knew something would be there. I never knew exactly what it would be, but it would be something. So when we met, yes, that's how it was. It was something. So your child met my child in this male phase. And I think that your child and my child were both like, okay, we're going to meet this person, except that ultimately they would never connect on the same level because they were not in the same place. And excuse us because our 3-year-old is here.
so yeah, they weren't in the same space.
So they weren't in the exact same space. I think we wanted them to connect, period. But again, we didn't know exactly what was in store for our future. Looking back now, they would have never connected the same as, two kids, two boys, or two girls into the same thing because they just were not on the same level, playing field. I don't know. So when they met again, it was two males at 13. They were okay. They were definitely different, definitely not cohesive like glue or anything like that. They were definitely trying to find their way and gravitate towards a somewhat of a normal. Um, Shortly, how long was it after we met that Selena wanted to transition?
Man, I don't remember. I think that was so we've been
I want to say less than a year. Maybe it was a year. I almost think it was less than a year. It was like summertime. Like, I almost want to say, was it even. I was pregnant with Araya. I know that. So
So
it was months.
it was a year after because yeah,
Okay.
because we got together, we spent the summer,
Oh,
then
so it was, yes, because it was the summer before high school.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. So the summer before high school, she came to me and told me, and again, I always knew it would be something. I never knew what that something would be, but I already have a son who is not a sports person, but a boy's boy into gaming and into computers and into like he gravitated towards that way. And I feel like boys gravitate towards computers and I don't want to say nerdy stuff, but computers in that way, or they gravitate towards sports in this way, you know. I had that person, and Selena was just never that person. So I knew it would be something I never knew what it would be. So it was that summer that she came to talk to me. And so that summer she came to talk to me, it also fell into us, because it wasn't just me, it was us gravitating this new normal just for her in her own way. You know, now we had to figure out this entire new reality, this entire new world on top of a blended family that was still new, on top of a place that we were still figuring out each other. Never mind asking another person of the same age trying to figure out. So, although they never clicked like glue, understandably, to me, and I don't know how it was for you, but to me, it kind of made sense where it was like, oh, okay, well, they were never going to click like glue because they're not the same,
no,
they're not even in the same space.
no. I actually thought for me, I thought that they weren't not gonna get along. I thought they were gonna be like siblings, not that they were siblings, but like siblings. Like I thought they were not gonna get along. Like they're gonna hate to be in each other's space, right? Because that's what some siblings do, right? And they're. I guess I wasn't. I was expecting that there were times that they were not gonna get along, even though we hoped, and I hoped that they did.
But I think you're saying that and more of just because siblings don't get along.
Right.
I think I'm saying it on a, you know, when you are blending a family, especially at the age that they're at, you're not gonna be a brother and a brother and a brother and a sister, or a brother or a sister and a sister or whatever. You're going to be strangers that become friends that become family. So it's going to be a transitional time.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I was just looking at it different. You're looking at it like I'm good with them just hating each other because that's just what siblings do. Where I was looking at it like they are going to be strangers to become friends to become siblings. So when they started not even being friends, it was like, wait, hold up. So for me, it was a little different.
But I think that they always had. I think they've always had that a relationship that kind of we weren't aware of. I'm not saying. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but like even the other day, you were like, I didn't know that Selena like hung out with him so much.
Yeah, again, I think that that's just something that they developed into. I think that at the beginning, through the transition, and again, when Isaiah first found out about Selena, it was at my sister's house. My sister sat all her kids down, and Isaiah was sleeping over there. And she introduced that world to all her kids with Isaiah to Selena. And that's where he found out for the first time, which I don't. I don't even remember how that happened, but yeah, that's how that happened.
Mm.
um, and I think it was just an adjustment. I think it is an adjustment. I think for someone that, for even adults that have never had to deal with that, for never had to know that, don't necessarily understand that, don't necessarily understand why one person, especially, I mean, come on, like at 13, 14,
Mm.
it's a lot to ask of a kid to understand why somebody is not comfortable in the skin that they're in. You know,
Mm.
it's a lot, I think, for them to understand that. And I think that's why so much bullying and so much evil goes on. Um, but I think that they've all handled it well. I think he's handled it well. I think even if he didn't necessarily understand it, he tried.
Mm.
I think he still tries. I think he's still good. And I think throughout the transitioning process, they've come to understand that, okay, well, you're never going to be that person I play basketball with. You are over there. I am over here. But they have found their middle ground, I guess. Um, I think Selena struggled with it more. I think that her transitioning from one to another is not a science. I think that she's went from being told or being given certain toys or given certain structure or whatever based on her gender. And now all of a sudden, I mean, even when you remember when she was sleeping over her male friend's house, and it was like, no, hun, that's you can't do that anymore. That's not allowed anymore.
Right, I
You
remember
know,
that.
I think that she struggles with that. I think she struggled with understanding why, why can Isaiah go hang out with my cousins and my family and I'm not? And I constantly have to do well, hun, do you really want to go sit at a park and watch somebody play You don't like to play basketball. Why do you want to do that? And I think it's, okay, Dolly. I think it's because of that. I'll put it on. Sorry, that's Araya. Again, I think that's just a part of. Okay, I think that's just a part of her, even discovering herself. It's not just somebody else finding a new normal. I think it's her realizing that the new normal that she once had is no longer. So I think that it was just a very interesting place where you came into my life and our kids blended and
Wait, you came into my life.
okay, don't make me hurt you. I have more people, so I win.
All right, all right.
um,
That
Araya.
one.
Okay.
No.
This one?
No.
This one.
Yes.
Araya's dictating what she wants to watch on YouTube. So yeah, I think it was challenging at the beginning. I think our situation is very unique. I think that we not only blended our children super late, but we also had a whole entire transition in itself.
Yep.
I think that we also added a baby. I mean, I think that I honestly don't know anybody blended the way that we're blended.
No, I know. You're absolutely right.
And I think that is just so challenging in itself because you can find one person that might relate on one end, but to find somebody that relates on every single end is like, wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty much how I see it. Like, it is what we started, what we came into. Now, boom, a transition. You know, on top of we had a baby, um, and everything together, like blended. Like all of this blended is not something that anyone can. Well, I mean, not that I know that they can relate to. Um, Here's the thing, like, and nobody's family. Every family is different. Like every family is different,
Mm-hmm.
and this is also different.
Right.
So, I feel like we're just figuring it out, just like everybody else. At times, it's different because we've come from. We weren't together since we were like 18, 19, 20 years old,
Mm-hmm.
right? We came in, I was what, like 35? And
So old. I'm
so
sorry.
that's 35 years of how I was raised, the stuff that I've been through,
Mm-hmm.
how I was raising Isaiah, to like all the years that you've had, your relationships, you raising your kids, and boom.
How old was I? 25?
Yeah, you still look 25, babe. Babe, you are beautiful. You look beautiful today.
Thank you.
Um, but yeah, so it's like an explosion. Like boom, we met and we're figuring it out. But we are blended by love. We love each other. You
Yeah.
know, um, and I think the kids love each other. It's new for everybody. It's new for them. We don't know. We're still trying to figure it out. And
Literally. Like, we still don't know if tomorrow is just, tomorrow might just be that crazy explosion. I have no idea.
and then I feel like there's some things that we go through that I speak to my best friend, Lou. I'm like, these are some of our struggles. He's like, dude, welcome to my life. Like, that's what I struggle with my kids, with my wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's so we different, but not different. We're not different because
We're human.
we're human and we all going through this stuff.
Right.
And everybody's situation,
I think that for myself, I think that sometimes I just get so like, ugh! I don't know if I keep doing this. And it's not necessarily you or the kids or any one particular thing. It's just because I go crazy. I don't think it's how do I want to say it? It's almost like, okay, I didn't deal with all this crazy, right?
You calling me crazy?
No, that was totally your self-conscious. Like, I didn't say anything about you. I wasn't even thinking that. Someone thinks they're crazy. No, I'm saying that, because I went so long without dealing with like one headache, I'm like, ugh, so I really want to deal with this headache. And then I think, like, technically, you alleviated 100 headaches. You just gave me 5. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different kind of
Oh, that's sweet.
headache. It would be sweeter if you got rid of the 5, but yeah.
Holy cow! I'm only human. Um, but yeah, that's where we got to think of
What
our
is that?
blessings. Like what like there's times that I might give you a headache here, or you might give me a headache here, but you do so much for us, right? And I do, I don't feel like I do like as much as you do, but I do a lot, right? So if I do a lot, you're doing a lot more. You know what I'm saying? And I gave you a shout out the other day on
Mom.
how that on your birthday when I took over the house, I cooked.
Oh,
I
my birthday.
I cleaned.
Yes.
And
You
I
did.
and I did. I'm like, man, you do this.
And I was
I
sitting
did.
there like, is it bad that I don't feel bad for him?
That's fine, but it's like you say, it's you get rid of you take care of a lot of headaches. You still got some headaches.
Yeah.
But that's just life, and that is relationships.
It is.
Everybody says it. You it is what it is.
Yeah.
But we are again blended by love. We love each other. We always, at the end of the day, you know what it is. You're in the moment. you're like rah 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 this rah rah that, and then after you think back and you're like, yeah, you know what, maybe it made some sense, right, on both sides.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, you just love each other, right?
Yes. I think at the end of the day, you sit there like all the issues that we deal with in the house or with the children, you have to remind yourself that the person that you're with is not your enemy. You're angry and you're angry at the situation. You're not angry necessarily at your spouse, because being angry at your spouse or partner or roommate or whatever situation that you're in is different than being angry at what's happening in the home and with the children. I know that's what I have to do, because sometimes I can easily bundle it all up like, hate all these people. And then you just have to remind yourself that, no, I actually don't hate him. I'm just hating everything that's happening in this house right now. Like these lazy ass kids that put a dish in the sink and nobody wants to clean
Holy
it.
cannoli.
I ain't do it. I ain't do it. I ain't do it.
I'm telling you, I'm
well,
about to go
damn.
on strike.
The dog did it.
I'm going on strike from if I do the dishes and 2 minutes later there's a dish in there, I'm done. That's it. No more. You figure it out.
I know you ain't saying to me.
No, but here's the thing. Like you say, you're touching on it. Like so our parents, it's we're human. We're natural. It's natural to like. I don't like my kids sometimes.
Sorry.
It's like we've been doing this, we've been doing that, and boom, like what's wrong with these kids, right?
You know what's wrong with these kids? I think what's wrong with these kids is that they know that we're figuring it out, and they know that we've lacked on certain stuff, like
we don't have house rules.
like we don't enforce super house rules because like we're just so like they're structuring, they're whatever, they're this or they're that, except for our insanely neat freak Selena, who will come downstairs at 2 o'clock and start cleaning up the entire kitchen to the max. Hey, I'm not saying it's ideal. I'm just saying, other than our one child that will come downstairs and all of a sudden the whole entire kitchen is spick and span corner to corner because she can't stand a mess. I'm just saying. It's crazy. Now, would I take that over her sleeping? No. That's not what I'm saying.
By the way, that is one of our upcoming podcasts. We are going to be touching on the house rules
Or lack of
issues. Yes.
Mom?
But is
What
there
was
anything
this
else?
from?
How about Anthony's relationships with both Selena, the transition, his relationship with Isaiah?
So, without mentioning names, because I just want to put it out there with you, because we didn't talk about this beforehand, of course. Anthony's best friend already was dealing with the situation. Therefore, Anthony was dealing with the situation. Anthony's best friend, Anthony is 22. His best friend since high school, they became best friends in 9th grade. His best friend's girlfriend was transitioning from female to male, and Anthony was already introduced to that life, to that world, to that whole entire environment. So when that came out with Selena, for him it was more like, wow, like this person is already going through this as well, and he's been, to him it was like, it is what it is, whatever makes him happy. Actually, that literally is what he said at one point, whatever makes her happy. I mean, it is what it is. And that's how he's always been. It's never been a lapse in name. I think I was the one that struggled the most with going from one name to another, because it just was so accustomed to me. one more. I think that in regards to that, he's never given me any indication of a weirdness. But I think that in general, he adjusts to things pretty easy as long as he's just more of a, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. It's not doing nothing to me. When it came to Isaiah, it was more like, you know, I think he just looked at him more like a child to him because he was just so much older. He wasn't in the same place. And I think that's the way he still looks at him. He doesn't feel, and this is just my perspective. Of course, we have to bring him down and ask him to know for sure. But I feel like he doesn't feel any,
That's enough.
just almost like it's just in a different. I almost feel like he looks at Isaiah the same way he looks at Araya. I love you, but you're just not where I am. You're a part of the family. If you're bleeding, I'll call 911. If you need me, I'm here for you. If you want me to make you dinner, I'll make you dinner. If you ask me for something, I'll do it for you. I think that that's just the way.
Wait, Anthony makes dinners?
I'm saying.
'Cause
I
he can
just
make us
said
dinner.
he has made dinner.
When?
You were probably out and about, but he has made dinner. He actually made all of us dinner a couple times,
So
actually.
I think we should utilize that. more.
I'm just
I'm
saying.
when we don't have that time, when you got
We'll be
homework to
sitting
do,
there and he'll be like, all you gotta do is ask me. And we'll hang out in the
all right,
kitchen
so there
and
you go.
he'll make dinner and I'll be sitting there and talking to him. But anyway, back on top. I think that that's how he looks at the people that are younger than him. When it comes to Selena, I think I can answer in more of a how does he feel about her transition. When it comes to all the kids, I feel like he looks at them all that same way. If they need something, I'm here for them. And I don't know. That's just the way I think. That's the way I think he is with them. That's what I see anyway.
That's interesting. Maybe we should invite him to one of our podcasts.
I think we can. He would probably be like, yeah, yeah,
Yep.
I know, yeah.
And all you gotta do is ask.
Yeah. No more.
So, I mean, I think that's enough for now because I think we got a couple things to do. So we should start wrapping it up. 30.
Yes.
Unless
Okay.
you have anything else.
I don't think so.
Anyways, thank you guys. Don't forget, please comment. Please send us questions.
Please do, because he gets so emotional when you don't comment, like, or ask a question. Even if you ask a question about why he leaves his socks on the floor all the time. I mean, a question is a question.
Or, my guys, you can comment and say, listen, this is, back me up. That's what we do. Like,
This is what we do. We leave socks on the floor all the time. Yeah. Or
It's not all the time.
hold up. Or we've transitioned to sticking them under the bed all the time.
hey, don't, so you don't have to ask questions. You could be like, yo, I do the same thing. Nah.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for being patient with us because we didn't post in a couple weeks because we've been so busy.
What's this?
And hopefully we'll get you another podcast sooner.
Email address.
Email address is blendedbylove@hotmail.com. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple iTunes podcasts. And we're on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. And again, leave some comments, leave some questions. And thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.